Howdy. So I'm covering the show, and this Zero costume comes in and wows everyone. And they're like, okay. And I saw you throughout the day, and your costume is so friggin' awesome, but you were just surrounded by people who just like loved what you brought to the table this time. So first and foremost, can you introduce yourself and tell me why'd you pick this character?
So I'm Dahan Kim, and I love Code Geass in general, but I've always played strategy games, and I started off with StarCraft and chess. Well, chess, then StarCraft. And chess was always a big thing for me growing up. I learning at a really, really young age, right, and then going into tournaments with it, right, and then just growing through it. And I decided not to pursue it as a kind of a career because I didn't want to like commit to it. And I just got into other games like strategy games and just like trading card games and everything like the like. And watching anime as well, I would watch Code Geass and I could relate to the main character so much. And I feel that at this point, even though I did cosplay other things, right, that Lelouch or Zero is now my persona. So I just keep on doing it and I just keep improving on my cosplay as such.
So what got you into cosplay? Like, what was the first thing to make you, or what's the first instance that made you say, I want to become this character? And then can you tell me how the experience was your very first time going out there?
So, actually my first cosplay was from Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles, right? Which was actually my first anime. And growing up, I also did some martial arts as well. Just kind of like, it was very strict Asian upbringing. It was a lot of learning music, martial arts, studying, all that stuff, right? So for that anime itself, the main character always inspired me in a way that I related to that character. So just characters that I relate to are usually the characters that I like to cosplay. And I related to him so much growing up that I decided I wanted to try to be in and like go to these conventions that my sister was talking about. So my sister had already gone to a convention and I just followed suit.
Awesome. So you've been doing all these fun things for a while, and you mentioned something really awesome, that every time you come to a con, you bring a chess set. What made this happen and why? And then any funny stories?
So the best things that I always went around to other conventions, and I just thought that there's always, after the first few times, you lose the magic of like certain things because you start learning more. Already know a lot of things, so you don't have to go to certain panels. Right, so you end up having a lot more free time, just walking around taking pictures. And I thought, why can't I be more efficient? Why can't I have more fun in between? So whenever I'm cosplaying as Zero, I bring my chess set, and I would just set up, and people will come to me, because as if anyone who's watched Code Geass will know, the main character Lelouch is a genius. He's a tactical, strategical genius, and he's very, very good at chess. So it's the two things that we enjoy so well that I decided, why not? I might get bored, right? He gets bored. We both play chess, right? Make it happen.
That really makes sense. It works, and it's awesome for the con. All right. So how was it for you? Like, was that your first time competing on stage for like best costume?
Previously, I had just done it more casually. I didn't ask to be judged, right? But this time I decided I might as well just go for it, right? Because it would be fun. And since I used to be very fluent in Japanese, I decided why not just go for the Japanese original dialogue, where I just wow everyone. It was actually not actually the complete dialogue. What I said was, before you judge me, right? That's a change from before you kill me, right? I had to ask you a question, and then it goes into a quote about like a very philosophical quote, right? To buy time, and then afterwards, I said that it doesn't matter if you don't have the answer, for I am Zero, right? And I will change the world, right? And I must change the world. That was the quote that I put in there.
So how was it for you up there, having the crowds cheering, impressing, having the judges be wowed? How was it for you?
For me, I actually went onto stage and I was a little bit excited, right? I could do this. So instead of being a little bit more dramatic and taking it a little bit slower, I ended up being a little bit more louder, being a little bit more pronounced. But I don't think that was a bad thing.
Really well.
Because it played into the hype. It played into the hype of everyone else, and I was already going for powerful, but it also exuded into everyone else. So I think it worked out well.
You did a wonderful job. That was great. You owned it up there, and that was really great.
Thank you very much.
So, one last thing. Actually, no, I'm gonna do two. One, what's your dream cosplay? Like something you want to do, but you just can't. But like, if you had any that's like all the time, the money in the world, what would it be?
Well, I actually have a lot of extra, maybe not time, but a little bit of extra money. So, what my dream was always to make the perfect Lelouch costume or just zero costume, right? And I'm still working on that. This is actually my my beta, right? This is actually not the complete costume set. I'm trying to get an actual tailored suit, right, of actual materials instead of just adhesive pasted like decorations. And I want to have more. I'm trying to combine engineering in the helmet and turn it into like the helmet from the anime, like have like something like very, very close to it. And if I could, right, I would also just create like a bunch of like the gizmos or use or like smoke, whatever, right, and then create like spectacles. I would go to conventions, right, come out like have smoke appear, like harmless smoke, right, and then just like come out through it, right, and then just be dramatic and disappear. If I had the resources to do that, and if I could do it, then I would do it.
Seriously fascinating. Like you're talking about anime, you're talking about cards, you're talking about chess. I feel like there's a lot back in the past that like drew you in, and then anime. It doesn't seem as serious, so it's kind of interesting to me that became one of the parts of who you are. What was the first anime that ever drew you in and brought you into the world?
I think, even though Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle as my first anime, it drew me into watching anime as a form of entertainment, but I think in this case it is going to be just Code Geass drew me in completely, because the main character was, the main character in the beginning was very repressed, felt that their parents were a little bit overbearing and didn't understand them and kind of cast them aside sometimes, right? And despite those feelings festering within his heart, he was always just bored. So he would go to these casinos, to these underground places, and play chess while gambling for the thrill or for that momentary excitement. And then the series of events happens, and that could never have happened for me. And then he gets thrown into this like huge world, like of a rebellion, where he basically is going to war with the world or with the perceivable world. And I thought that was just so cool, right? That he could do that, and it inspires me. It just draws me in, because it's not something that in the modern day, right, that I could possibly do, right? Because I'm not really inclined to join the army, right, and start low. It's just something like that is just so crazy and so unlikely, and that's what I dream sometimes, but it's not really gonna happen. So I'm content with the fact that I can just at least emulate, and like my character is similar to the main character.
Awesome. You know, Code Geass is one of those things. I have the set. I have never watched it. It's on like an insane backlog of things. And one of the things that I love when I interview people is that the passion they have for something makes me want to try it. Like a little while ago, I did a Black Butler interview, and right after that, I just started talking to some of the people, and then like, all right, we just pounded it out on Netflix and got to do it. So you're really making me want to try Code Geass. So thank you very much. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. I really appreciate it.